Hi guys, I'm Stanimira Koleva and I'm the General Manager for the business of HERE Technologies in the region of Asia Pacific and Japan. And it's my pleasure to be sharing some of the thoughts in this interview. Wow, I actually don't think there is any single industry that wasn't affected. Obviously, there were a few winners, but many industries got negatively impacted. And similar to my industry, actually, there was a major shift in what we saw. Some use cases started performing much less. We are traditionally very strong with our automotive customers. And as we saw maybe 2 or 3 months of literally zero sales or close to zero sales of new cars, our business got affected negatively. On the positive side, we used the opportunity to see and realize many new use cases, which the crisis actually accelerated. Use cases around tracking and tracing, use cases around reconfiguring adaptively distribution and transport and logistic practices or supply of resources. And we are now even much more prominent in citizen services delivered under the banner of smart city or emergency services as well. So I would say very interesting time. Well, we had a very accelerated learning, right, in terms of how to make our supply chain more robust, right, and manage risk around it, have some options as well, how to dynamically distribute resources for help, in healthcare, for example, and how we mobilize capacity and move it from one place to another and enable the smarts of how that gets done. We have learned a lot about the need to be mindful around location. I mean, I would say that was fairly fundamental for my industry. And the good news is we could see how location intelligence now can be used in so many new ways and enable some really very useful and good solutions, not only for the health of the people, but also to deliver better living and ongoing support for extended capabilities in a number of areas. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I wish big data could just magically resolve some of these issues. Actually, location intelligence is delivered on the back of a huge database. Because if you think about what a digital map of the world represents, it's actually a humongous database, which we call big data. And over the years, we had to develop lots of capabilities around AI and machine learning just to cope with the updates and enhancements of that big data in order to deliver increasingly better and more quality location services. And in the places of Southeast Asia, obviously the challenges are bigger, because of the quality of some of the data which exists in terms of addressing schemes and various other elements of how location services get supported is lower than in some of the established and more mature markets, but also it's changing so fast. And then Southeast Asia is on the forefront of some completely new business models. If you think about the Gojeks of the world and the Grab and some of the ride hailing we saw blooming, and then the two-wheelers, all sorts of multimodal transport options. And so we need to cope with many things at the same time. We have to make sure that our data is the most accurate and up to date and it's available real time to do things like predictive traffic or, help governments with planning traffic flows better or, deliver new services. And we do a lot of that. It's quite a challenge technologically and how we capture and maintain freshness of that data. But also there is a very vibrant ecosystem of players, and we are one of them, but there are many services companies or other data providers and a rich also vibrant startup ecosystem in this region that helps, and we are trying to work with many parties in order to make sure that we deliver solutions for this very dynamically changing part of the world, and which are also valid for the emerging business models and also help people to live better.